And here we go.
Waivers put forth last night that expedite this process. And can you help us understand, essentially, is there a deadline in the law, or why is it that this has to be used up right now? Because you all have been not thus far using these funds. So to piggyback on Nandita's question, why not continue to slow walk this if philosophically you...
Because we've asked,
believe
because the answer there is we've asked Congress over and over again, the president said this, to reappropriate the funds. They said no. We have to comply by the law. That's what DHS is doing. As you asked me about the environmental laws that we had to deal with, you know, we have to comply by the law.
Why?
Just answer the question. What?
And which requires, because we have to comply by the law, which requires the agencies to use these funds for their appropriated purpose. Now, CBP will conduct environmental and cultural resource surveys of this project, and so certainly I would refer you to DHS and CBP on the specifics of that, and also the law itself. What I can tell you is that we have to comply by the law, and that's what we're doing, and that's what DHS is doing. Again, this was announced back in June, and this is how we're moving forward. And you heard directly from the president. His stance on the border wall has not changed. He does not believe it is effective. He's been very clear about that. Again, your colleague asked him directly, and his answer was
Of course.
no. Go ahead, JJ.
Has the government already contracted for this project?
I don't have any news about contracts for this project or how it's moving forward. I would have to refer you to DHS on that.
Ukraine speech, are you expecting it to be next week, early next week?
So I don't have anything new to share on the Ukraine speech specifically, but look, the president was very clear. He wants to give a major speech on this, and so when we have more information, certainly we will share it. Look, and you've heard me say this multiple times. You heard the president say this. There's strong bipartisan support from both chambers for protecting our national security by backing Ukraine as they continue to fight for their democracy, for their sovereignty, and resist the brutal invasion of Russian aggression, obviously, which has committed war crimes and atrocities and killed countless civilians and kidnapped thousands of children. We saw what's happening today in Ukraine at the grocery store, where we know at least 49 people have died, and that's horrific. That is how they're living their life. And also, I want to bring in the experts into this too. Across the spectrum have stressed, if we abandon the people of Ukraine and Russia is successful, it would send a terrible message and embolden dictators and would be aggressors around the world who may want to invade other countries. So which could draw the United States and create much more of a problem and an issue around the world. So that's why we have to continue, we believe, being behind the people of Ukraine. When we have more to share on his speech, we certainly will do that. But yes, the president is going to make a major speech on Ukraine, and when we have those information, we'll certainly share it. Yeah, Peter.
Karine, I just want to follow up very quickly. You said that it's not new, but to be clear that this was posted on the Federal Register overnight on October 4th. So just to be clear about this, the president earlier today said that he was asked, does the border wall work? He said no. But in this statement that was posted within the last 24 hours, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary says there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers and roads in the vicinity of the border of the United States in order to prevent unlawful entries into the United States. So who's right? The statement from the DHS Secretary overnight, or the President's comments today saying they don't work?
So a couple of things. Yes,
Are you serious right now, bro?
showed up on the register today, but the announcement, this is not new. This is from 6 months ago.
Well, it is new because the waiving of the laws actually didn't happen.
But this is something that
Just answer the question. What?
was out back, that the DHS was put out back in 6 months ago.
Well,
So
wait,
they announced.
Did they waive the laws 6 months ago?
Well, what I'm saying is DHS announced this back in June that the agency would do so. They actually said that they would do that
So
back
they
in
moved
DHS.
forward with it today. The initial announcement was 6 months ago by waiving the laws, so that's what's new today. Understood. So
Yes.
the statement when
Just
he
wanna
says
make sure we're
presently
clear
was
on that.
filed. So when he said there is presently, are you saying when he says there is presently, he was referring to 6 months ago or referring to the date of which it was filed?
What I can
10/4?
tell you is DHS announced this back in June, that they were going to move forward with this. That's what I can share with you. That's what I know is to be true and is to be fact. Look, I can speak for the president. The president said he was asked directly, he doesn't believe a border wall is effective.
Does he have a disagreement with his Department of Homeland Security Secretary?
What I can tell you is what the president, I want to tell you what the president said and what your colleague asked him. He said, no, he doesn't believe that the border wall is effective.
Speaking in direct contradiction
Liar!
to what his own
I know,
Homeland
I hear
Security
you,
Secretary
I hear you.
says.
I'm speaking for the president. I'm saying that he has said that he does not believe a border wall is effective. That's what he was asked. He has said that for some time now, and it still remains to be the case. He asked, right? He asked Congress multiple times. His team has asked Congress to reappropriate the funds. They refused to do that. We're going to comply by law.
You asked the president on our behalf,
Don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, man.
then, in the absence of our ability to do that, whether he disagrees with the statement that there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct
I'm
physical
happy to take
barriers.
that back. I'm happy to take that back. Go ahead.
Karine, again on the wall, Mexico's president is saying that the plans to move forward, quote, are contrary to what President Biden had been proposing. Has the president addressed this with Mexico? Have you guys, has he talked
I mean, he
to-
just addressed it
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
in the
Has
Oval.
he spoken to the Mexican leader?
I hear you, but that was just came out, right? I'm assuming that he just made that statement, correct?
talked to him in
Well,
advance.
you guys just saw him. He was meeting with his national security advisors, right? With the new chairman. So, first of all, you heard directly from the president. He said that he does not think a border wall is effective. So you heard directly from the president on that as the president of Mexico is speaking to, right? So you heard directly from the president. I don't have a call to read out. The president has been busy meeting with his national security team. I don't have a call to reach out. As you know, members of his team here at the White House they went down to Mexico. They did a delegation and went down there and had meetings. I don't have a call to read out from the president. Go ahead, Nancy.
Thanks, Karine. As someone who spent
What a bunch of fucking bullshit.